Hello, you're listening to Yes, Have Some. At least until I get to you.
We are back with our guests. We talked about it earlier. Mike Savino, Mark Veau, joining us. How are we doing, guys?
Doing good.
Doing
Glad
good?
to be on. Yes, have
really
some.
good.
Oh my gosh. Thank you guys for joining us. We talked about it earlier. We watched the documentary a couple of months ago about Snapper. We had Dave and John on to talk about it. And listen, I like those guys, but the whole time I was like, I kind of wish we had the actual
Get the real
people. I wish we had the real guys on. But you're here. So, Mark, I asked you earlier. You said you're in Massachusetts. You're both in Massachusetts. Is that correct?
Yes.
Very cool. So, I guess let's backtrack a little bit. That's kind of how we always do it. We saw the documentary and we know the story of the trailer and what you shot. And if anybody hasn't seen our episode, go back and watch it because there's some really good stuff in there. And then the doc's going to be available. It's hitting the film festival circuit now. So we want to make sure everybody gets to see the actual documentary because I can't really speak highly enough about it. I mean, Jake, you're the one who I don't know how long ago it was, but Jake called me one time in the middle of the night, like 3 a.m. probably, was like, listen,
Probably.
Yeah.
there's a movie about a man-eating turtle that was never made, but John's making a documentary
Yes.
about it. How do we get involved? I was like, I don't know.
I imagine I wonder what it's like for you guys with John coming to you with the idea, but like I'm friends with John and he's always like, when he first started thinking about this documentary, he would send me a message about it. He's like, I'm thinking about doing this. And I'm like, I don't know what that is, but please make this happen. So I can't even imagine what that's like for you guys.
It was completely off the cuff. He was actually running an interview with us, with Michael and I. Ironically enough, in Worcester, Massachusetts, we met at a restaurant on the day. So we do a thing called Rock, Shock, and Horror Festival every year. And they get some big names in the horror movie business to come into the DCU Center. And we had gone over afterwards, after we did the interview, and we casually mentioned to John that, hey, he's a big Jaws fan. Everybody knows, John knows that he's a huge Jaws fan. I said, I know you're a big Jaws fan. I said, Mike and I, we tried to do this Killer Snapping Turtle movie back, and he just ran with it from there.
Say no more.
That's all you have to hear.
we got to make a documentary about this. And Michael and I were talking after, and we're like, but there's no story. What's he going to do? I don't understand.
Right. You're like, this guy, we're pretty sure he's going to try to scam us somehow. Nobody actually wants to do this. No.
We knew. Well, John had approached us prior. He'd approached us prior about doing a limited rerun of Attack of the Killer Refrigerator on VHS, and it never happened. But I knew that at that point, someday, that we would cross paths again. I never, to my wildest, and I think I can speak with Michael as well, never in my wildest imagination did I ever think that this was going to happen. And what him and people like David Bigelow were able to do with the footage and make a story, because they saw it from a different angle than Michael and I did.
Yeah. And that perspective is
captured
great. Continue. Sorry.
Oh, no. It's one of those things, like, we were talking, I just said, what are you going to say and how are you going to do it? And then we just started pulling out old footage and he started getting more excited. And I'm like, look at all these pictures. I mean, back then we did have the right mind to at least take some photos and, maybe shoot some video of behind the scenes. And I was working at a cable company at the time. So we were editing, I think it was on Beta SP at the time. So it was, analog tape to tape. So for our, crew party, I put together a little montage of a behind the scenes thing. So I wanted to have footage. And unlike any of the other films, except for The Hook of Woodland Heights, like The Killer Refrigerator, we have nothing, no still photography. We have some raw footage, but that movie was made from many different movies. It wasn't just shot for A Killer Refrigerator. But to have John come and take something that, to be honest with you, I reread the script prior to, maybe a year prior to him thinking about the idea, just to look at it, because Mark and I have like 5 other scripts fully finished that are all done. So this was just one of the many. And we were all in tune to the Killer Fridge too. You know, we're really excited about that project. But and then John said, "Hey, this is great," and he did an amazing job. He really did. And the 16 millimeter footage, even though it was from 3/4 inch, is what he received. Or digital versions of 3/4 inch footage. It was shot on 16, transferred to 3/4 inch, then given to John digitally. It looks really good, even on a projector, you know?
Right.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Those are
he
choice
is
cuts.
amazing. Good friendship was developed. It really brought the world a lot smaller, I think, because back when we were doing it, and it was really small, you know, compared to now where everybody can shoot with their iPhone and create a great project, you know?
Yeah, it wasn't that way then.
Yeah.
Nowhere near that way.
I think that's like the interest point for people like us. Like I know I grew up like filming zombie movies with my brother and neighbors when I was little, and also working on projects now that sometimes we have footage that we don't end up actually using, and like just watching someone going through that in that early time and the passion that y'all had. That was the really interesting, like human interest stuff for me.
Yeah. And I'm kind of interested. So like this, for those who don't know, this is late 80s into the early 90s is kind of the time frame that we're mostly talking about.
Snapper.
This is 90s.
90s. Okay. Right. For Snapper.
91.
The script was actually registered in 1989.
Okay.
So it would have been that 1990 period that we started shooting the trailer.
And were you guys kind of was this like a scene? Was there a lot of people that you kind of associated with who were, you know, attempting to take on the horror genre in kind of this bootstrapped way? Because I'm not as familiar with when it comes to horror. I'm like mainstream guy, and I don't have as much of a knowledge of like the underground goings on, especially, you know, back then. So it's kind of it's interesting to me.
You know, you go back and you look at filmmaking as a whole, and the thing, and I tell Michael this all the time. I think I mention it once a day. The thing that I love about filmmaking is the collaborative effort and how many departments and how many people it takes to make the project happen. And what I mean by making the project happen, I mean by scene by scene. We're going through Attack of the Killer Refrigerator 2 right now in the screenplay, and looking and how to make that. That's going to take hundreds of people to make that film, you know. Back when we made the first one, and we never thought 30, 40 years later, we'd still be talking about it. That's a fact. But it's spurred us on. So I really, you know, you have to have that gung-ho thing to go and do it. It does take a lot of work, but the passion, like you mentioned, Abigail, the passion that you have making your zombie movies on your phone is still the same passion that we had. We just had more gear to have to lug around.
Word.
You know,
I don't want to age myself, but it was on like an old ass recording tape device. This was probably like late early 90s.
This was 10 years ago when the iPhone first came out. No, no, but like, so Attack of the Killer Refrigerator. Now I haven't seen the original. If people are going to be intrigued when they hear this, so is there a way now for people to view the original movie?
There will be.
They can go to MediaHouseFilms.com, see a cut of a trailer.
Okay.
It was available on Vimeo. I'm not sure if it still is.
Okay.
But it was, you know, it's so funny because this movie, the Killer Refrigerator movie, was made to entertain ourselves at our college bar. Now, back when we went to college, every campus had a bar, okay? And you went there, and there were dances and parties and radio station events and all kind. Every night we were, you know, not there, but we were there, you know, at least for a few minutes. We would squeeze in and out, you know, but we would go to other campuses. But that was our place to showcase stuff. So we looking to create content. I was the president of the TV club. We had like $17 budget, and I couldn't buy anything for programming.
Right.
So I got into the studio. We had nothing but dog shows. And That was pretty much it. Okay.
That's
So
funny.
we took tape and we just started. First thing I did was I used to vacation at the Jersey Shore. Nobody had cable, but they did down there. And I recorded MTV videos. And then when we came back, I had those, so I played them. And then Mark was in charge of the radio station. And that was like a low-powered thing. And we would go simulcast. So we'd be on the radio station and on the TV station. And we would do stupid games like, dating game and come down in your pajamas and win tickets to great shows. We had a couple venues where we had tickets to Frank Zappa, George Carlin,
Oh, fuck yeah.
Steppenwolf.
Wow.
Who else, Marcus? I mean,
Berlin. Yeah, we saw a bunch of
incredible bands, because we were at college. So,
Right.
and the venue was right down the street. And
it was the
we
80s.
had a lot of trade with different companies. So we would totally make programming. And that's how the fridge was made, because we needed programming. So every day we would come home to our apartment, whip out our, two-piece. We had a two-piece camcorder, okay, not a one, two-er, and we would make a short little film. We made one about Mark was throwing knife into a door, and we said, "Oh my goodness, wouldn't it be awful if somebody opened the door?" Right? And the knife came. And we had short about it, and I actually took the brunt of the knife, and then they threw me out in the trash.
I love that.
So we would, they put me in a bag and they threw me out. Nobody will see him, and that was it, So we would run these crazy little things on the campus TV, and that
That's
was
awesome.
our first. That was the first showing. What happened was one night when we played the Killer Fridge, somebody in the bar said, "Hey, I own 3 video stores. I want to distribute them." So, sure. He bought 3 copies. We made up this crazy little box. He put it on the shelf, and then that sort of grew from there to about 10. Then it went to 15, and then we met up with a distributor out in California at a video show and sold the project to this guy, Donna Michelle, Michael Schul, and he had other titles like Cannibal Campout and a bunch of really B horrors. Actually, probably better production quality than what we have, because
Absolutely,
ours was not made for. I mean, we took one take. That was it.
Hell yes. I love the scrappiness.
We're all collectors. We're all toy collectors and media collectors, and I got to imagine that an original copy.
I want one
of that is got. There's got to be. There's gonna be.
Is
some
this a
value
segue that I'm supposed to answer? Because I could just tell you, 3 weeks ago, it sold on eBay for $860.
Oh,
I had no idea.
That's
No.
860 plus shipping.
Wow.
So that's the thing. We have many
incrementally
people.
gone up.
Did John buy it?
It's John, yeah. Had to be John.
yeah. I'm insanely jealous.
Yeah.
No, that's really cool.
There's
That's
only
awesome.
about 5,000 out, so that's and
Oh my
still
god.
not many available. I don't even have a complete copy.
No, we
Wow.
don't.
I have a box and a copy that we made. We did a bunch of different runs.
Okay.
We did some small runs, like I said, and I have a few of those copies. But Donna Michelle, he gave us a case, and we gave them away pretty much. Mark had a copy, I think. I had one.
So what? Go for it, Jake.
I was just going to say, you mentioned earlier that at some point somebody was maybe trying to get you guys to re-release it, like on VHS. Is that something that's like still on the table now that?
Yeah,
John wanted to re-release it.
John wanted to re-release it at first on a limited VHS run, but we
25 copies.
We have signed a deal. Michael and I did with a distributor. I guess we could say Wild Eye Terrorvision right now.
Terrorvision, yeah.
Terrorvision. Well, yeah, Terrorvision. In these situations, there's like 3 or 4 companies that are involved with the whole thing, but it's Terrorvision. And The Hook, Days Before Christmas, and the original Attack of the Killer Refrigerator are being re-released worldwide, Blu-ray, DVD, and streaming starting early next year.
Very cool.
That's tight.
First of all, I need to get into the limited VHS business because this sounds great.
Yeah, that's 100%.
I think
I have a healthy collection
of VHS.
Yeah, so does Jake. Our bedrooms look like video stores.
But I will say, we need to talk to you guys off air about making little refrigerator minifigures.
Oh,
to pair with,
yeah.
Yeah,
because
we do.
We can
been-
do that. Yeah.
We've been
An
doing
action
limited
figure.
release toys that have been doing really well. So,
Oh, definitely.
Well, hey, we're all about that.
We'd love to.
And with a title like Attack of the Killer Refrigerator, we're thinking Hot Wheels, Matchbox.
Hot Wheels.
I see a lot of Hot Wheels back there. Mike, tell me about this plan real quick.
dude.
Tell me about your Hot Wheels
You blame
collection.
Mark Veau for that one. He
blames me.
Childhood. He came one Christmas with a few Hot Wheels.
Yeah.
Hey, look what I found for you. Oh, later. Here we are. We're back living in, I'm a 5-year-old kid.
Abby's coming to look at. Abby's looking at
You
the
know
Hot
what?
Wheels.
It's awesome. Hot Wheels are incredible, and for $1, they're the best replica of a car. So Mark and I have a little bit of a collection.
I'm just going to pull one off the wall here. That's one of mine. Look, I just reached over and grabbed it.
Which,
So
I have
this
the
is
black
my,
up
like-
right now. You can't see.
Okay.
Because I'm redoing my Hot Wheels wall.
Okay.
I feel
I'll
like
open it to the public soon.
it's this is like. I know we got to talk about the refrigerator, but
Yeah,
I
but
just
this
wanna
is
talk-
where we have
I
a
wanna-
real
I
affinity.
just want to talk about toys.
I want to talk about
The
toys.
collection.
None of us are in our toy rooms right now,
Yeah,
but
you-
I think there'd be a connection we'd have here.
What's your best
definitely.
toy?
Our best toy?
I'm like, can you see the proton pack and the slime blower? I don't know if you can.
We're
Oh, Abigail.
Yeah.
Love that.
Yeah.
I also have Watto from Star Wars, Phantom Menace.
and hey, that's
Just a show and tell.
Just to taste.
that's just the living room.
Taste, yeah. That's just the that's the for show area.
We're all collectors of vintage and modern toys, and it's a passion and a hobby. And I totally I don't personally collect Hot Wheels, but I get it. I understand.
My brother does.
Yeah. So
Very cool.
but get real quick.
Worth money.
Yeah. Well, that's the other thing. There's
It's an investment.
there's always if you ever got to pay a bill, you
Always
just,
money in the toy room.
There's always money in that toy room.
Well, my grandson Riley, first thing he asks me when he sees me, Papa, have any Hot Wheels for me today? And
Oh, that's cool.
I happen to have Hot Wheels for him every day for the next 100 years.
There you go. When I go to Walmart or Target and I'm toy hunting, I do see the Hot Wheels guys. It's it's just a different vibe. And I see them harassing the people that work there, and they're like, no, I know. I'm just kidding. Nobody's
All of
harassing
us
anybody.
do that.
That's what you do.
That's
yeah.
what I do.
You try to open boxes before
says-
they've been out.
It says on the
I
website that
always
you have
open
them.
boxes.
Oh my
That's my
god.
first look. Where's the closed box?
Give me, yeah.
Yeah, let
Give me
get
in
the
that case. Yeah.
Tell the guy I'll help you out a little bit. I
So-
can take a few cars.
Yeah.
Let me ask you guys this. So Attack of the Killer refrigerator, kind of has a cult status, valuable VHS. What gets you thinking about revisiting that after all this time? What is the motivation? Because I think that's really cool and very interesting.
Well, I'm going to say it was the story that we were able to come up with, because after we went from the fridge, we went to the hook, snapper, and then dropped the snapper project to go to Days Before Christmas, which was highlighted in the Snapper documentary. That won the Houston International Film Festival, and then we wrote a bunch of other screenplays. But it was,
Tainted
nothing
Love.
was. We were talking about Tainted Love, AM, FM. I had a long career in radio. I just retired from radio in 2018.
Okay,
another one called Megahertz. So I and Michael have gotten together. We were just talking about this the other day. It was really the story. I mean, it's such a different thing. And I don't think it's ever been really given its due diligence, but we never really expected it to do what it did now, obviously. I mean, who
Right.
would? So I think it was the screenplay that we were able to come up with. We are very, very studious about screenplays, story structure, and that whole world, because the most important thing, without a doubt, in movie making and filmmaking is the screenplay and the story. And we are students of that and study every day. We were formerly taught in college by a man by the name of Mylan Stitt, who had a couple of films that came out and actually had collaborated with Peter Benchley on the original Jaws story. And he was a big inspiration. So Mylan Stitt, got us going, but it was up to us to carry it. And if you're really serious about it, you're going to study it every day. The script that Michael and I have come up with for Attack of the Killer Refrigerator 2 is mind-boggling. And I know everybody says that about their script, but it is absolutely off the charts of where the story goes.
Now, let me ask you this. We were at Dragon Con a couple weeks ago. We did a panel there in Atlanta. We did a whole panel on legacy sequels, right? Now, is this a legacy sequel? Are you continuing the story and the canon from the first movie, or is it
Reboot?
Is this kind of a retelling?
No,
not at all.
We'll give you the background. It's,
Yeah.
let me call that up here in my little note.
Yeah, we have the log line. We have like 5 of them.
Yeah, we have
I
like a
feel like-
whole bunch of.
I think
a
the
lot of
title is
log
the
line.
elevator
line,
pitch.
the simple elevator 60 is the party of the century is about to be sliced, diced, and iced by a maniacal metal appliance. Can a small band of survivors escape its evil clutches, or will they be frozen in its wall of souls forever?
Hell yes.
Yeah.
When
Here's
Incredible.
we were just talking before we started recording, and I was saying how being trapped in a freezer and that being your way to die is like terrifying to me. So
That is
sounds
terrifying.
awesome.
It's slow, I guess. Huh?
Yeah,
But here's
yeah.
like a fuller version. You know, Attack of the Killer Refrigerator 2 is a story about Fred, an Attack of the Killer Refrigerator 1 fanboy who wins the actual movie refrigerator prop in an online auction. During a high school house party, the refrigerator is plugged in and turns the students into sliced meats. A group of survivors battle to save their lives and stop the wrath of the killer refrigerator.
That's genius.
Sort
I'm
of
in.
like-
Wow, I like that. So it's like a meta sequel where it's
Yeah.
like
Yes,
the first movie is a movie within the second movie. I like that.
That's
Exactly.
correct.
that's
Actually,
fresh.
we show some scenes from the first movie in the second movie because Fred, being the rich kid, lives in this huge mansion with his family, has his own theater room with a marquee that reads Attack of the Killer Refrigerator, always playing. And that's all he shows.
That's
Well,
it.
Well, I heard that he just recently bought a copy off of eBay for a good amount of money.
Oh, he has a
got
copy.
it.
He also has a towel that
Yeah.
Christine made. He has the stuffed cat. He has
Okay, so that's
Hammer
he's like
they break the eggs free. He has every prop that's available from the fridge.
I love that.
Very cool.
So this is really cool. That's a really interesting take. And I actually think that's a good entry point, right? So you got to imagine a lot of the people who might see the new one once you guys, do it and film it and get it out there. Maybe they haven't seen the first one, but it doesn't, it's almost kind of, I don't know. I
You don't
think
have
that's
to
really
see
cool.
the first one to see the second.
I love that. That's
Right.
that's a really unique take.
That's a good point, Michael. Michael made a great point. You don't have to see the first one to see the second one because it's just there's so many twists and turns. And the ending, which I'm not going to say, and
No spoilers.
obviously-
No spoilers.
but the ending will blow your mind. Just blow your mind. I'm telling you right now, it's going to be something that nobody sees coming, but you saw it all along. And I'll leave it at that.
I'm so
I'm
mad that I
so
can't watch it right now.
buying in on
This
this.
is you want to talk about having enthusiasm when you come up with a story like that, and we've worked very hard, like I said, well over 15 years it seems on this story. The story within and of itself, when you have something, the other screenplays that we wrote we're really, really proud of, but there's something about Attack of the Killer Refrigerator, just the title in and of itself, that creates instant interest. As a matter of fact, the title in and of itself is almost like its own log line.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
all you need to know. What
Yeah.
else do you need to know? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So when we're lucky enough to be able to come down with that and hone that to that title, which what other title could it possibly be, right? So when you hone that down like that, it's like a great wood carving out of balsa that you've been doing all day long, and you finally come out with something. It's really crafting. And when they say crafting a screenplay, this is exactly what they're talking about.
Right. Jake, you're pretty in tune with the horror community, specifically Instagram and Twitter. I feel like there's never been a better time to do a project like this. Like I think 2021, there's a tremendous amount of ability for filmmakers to get exposure and to get their projects out there. And what I'll say about meeting the two of you tonight is your enthusiasm is infectious. And I think that's a really important.
Yeah. And authenticity. Like you can tell you've lived the life, and you've like, when you were talking about like running the TV station and radio station together, growing up, I always wanted to be a radio DJ.
Oh, who did?
I feel like podcasting is like the closest thing you can do.
Yeah, so you can do it in your living room.
I think that's
fine.
awesome that you made the platform and then you like decided to fill the programming and making something like creative and on your own is just so cool. I think that's really the heartbeat of like the documentary and all of this.
But Jake, what do you think? You think that the community is going to latch onto this project?
Yeah, I mean, for sure. Like we're in a time and age where horror has always been like a big thing and a big deal, but now we have like technology for these people to like meet each other, and VHS is kind of coming back, and there are VHS is a big like you just said about it selling on eBay. Like VHS is a big deal now, and it's going back up, and it's popular, and these like rarer movies are like they're a big deal. And I mean, like, the fact that John, came to you guys about, Snapper and all that, like that John is the kind of person I'm talking about. Like there's a lot of people like this out there that want to see this stuff and want to, see them continue or find these old versions. And it's a big deal. Like putting the original back out on DVD and Blu-ray, like that's going to do well.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
I think so, and I agree with you 100% on what you said. John is a great person. Obviously, we love him, and he's kind of helped revitalize what we're doing. Michael and I, and I'll make this perfectly clear, have never lost our enthusiasm to make a movie. What I mean? Obviously, we started this back in 1982, 3, 4. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So, in fact, the first refrigerator, like I said, came out well before 1990. A lot of people thought it came out in 1990. It didn't. It came out like 5 years prior to that because we had already self-distributed it. So, to have something like that, and it's fun. It's just fun, and that's our goal. Our movies don't have a message, I mean, we have a few screenplays that have, our thought process is going back to the 50s and the 60s and the 70s, when you went to the drive-in, you saw a movie like The Blob, you went to escape everything. And if there's ever a time in history that we all need to escape something and just forget about it and have some fun and not have to worry about any social justice messaging within your film project, if you want to do that and send out a message, that's your right. That's great. That's you as an artist. With us, we just want to go out and have fun. And how much more fun can you have than going out to see Attack of the Killer Refrigerator on a date and then going out to have something to drink afterwards?
Right. No, I love that. I love that.
That's
Absolutely.
our whole mission,
Escapism, yeah.
That's what it's all about. And no, go for it, Mike.
Well, I was just saying, Mark, I think in every movie, I think we only have one gun being shot. And that was the end. The killing in the hook.
The hook.
And then there's a gun scene in Snapper. But other than that, I don't think we have a gun scene. I mean, the fridge has variations of like he kills people with freeze pops and different things.
Yeah.
But such a good sentence. He kills people with freeze pops. I mean,
well, he does.
So we have like a gun looking thing, but it's not a gun movie. You're not going to see people be shot.
Right.
There's not going to be guns, bad guys, good guys, and they're good. They're great movies. I love them, but that's not us.
Well, I think you're both making a point. That's something we all talk about a lot, is that when you're looking for entertainment and for escapism, and you don't have to, I think there's I think we're all guilty of it a little bit, not just speaking the three of us, of overanalyzing and overthinking the media that we take in. And sometimes you just got to step back and realize and I think that's why services like Shudder or what Joe Bob does, I think it's really important because if you go back to
therapeutic.
It is therapeutic. If you go back to the 50s, 60s, 70s, especially the rise of B horror and stuff like that, the goal was to have fun and to
distraction,
to lose yourself in something that's just purely entertainment. And I think that there's a huge audience for that. And I think it's important.
Totally agree with you. And what Michael said is absolutely true. The refrigerator can get you in so many different ways this time around, okay? Because we thought for months and months, how many different ways can we do something? So machine guns that shoot, it can lob pies. It can, that are deadly. It can chomp you. It has teeth. It has all of this going for it. But the thing about it is that we're not going to cut back on the gruesome scenes that it causes, and the blood and the squirting of blood and limbs hanging and all that stuff. We want to still do that because that's definitely the point. But the point about it is when it's a refrigerator doing it instead of a man with a machete and a hockey mask, there's a whole different feeling of that scene. And I can't even describe it. It's like great gore, but boy, man, and then it just literally freezes your brain for a minute if you think about it in that sense. Now, a human with a hockey mask and a machete, that's different. Now that's another human or a monster. Right. But when you have a refrigerator doing it, which is a monster, it's just a whole different feeling.
Yeah, it's like a monster you've never seen before. Exactly. I know Jake and I love kaiju movies. It's got that same, it's a cleansing experience, to watch a good kill, especially by an inanimate object like a refrigerator. There's something that has good feel about that. I love it. It's bizarre and it
makes you feel good.
That's what it is. It's bizarre, and bizarre is good sometimes,
What is, so you guys talked about how you've been honing the script and kind of poring over it and taking it very seriously, getting it where it needs to be. So, what are the steps to get towards production? What is I can't imagine I can't remember if we were off air or not, but it takes a lot of manpower and a lot of people and a lot of money. There's a lot of
lots.
It's a lot of things.
So now I'm just trying to find people. I just want to do a quick read script for a script, and I just want to find actors, and it's really, you got backstage. Well, here, pay $10, and I got 2 responses.
Right.
And then we got another one, and then this and that. We need some good resources. But our next plan is basically we have full script, we have storyboard, we have assembled a budget, and budgets can go everywhere. I do video every day. I've been doing video every day since the 80s. And I'm very familiar with budgeting, and that's the hardest part for me right now because the numbers creep up so quickly,
right? Yeah,
and so scarily, because I want to make this movie so badly, yet I only have so much money in my own account, and I want to rely on the community to also help us make this incredible movie too. So we want people who love horror to come to our website and take a look at our investment package, which we're going to be putting up to it, where they can, for the cost of a Lionel train, talk about collectors, you can now own a piece of Attack of the Killer Refrigerator 2 and get bragging rights. And we have, a little model that shows, well, if it makes 50 million or 20 million or 10 million or 5 million, we have different steps that you can see how much your return would be. And, we have awesome. A model of, 90-10, 90 to the investors, 10% back to us until it's paid.
Now, is that something people can do now? Is that the website live where people can go?
The Killer Refrigerator 2 website isn't live, but it will be soon. But they can go to the Media House Films site.
Okay, Media House Films.
Definitely check it out. Yeah, and we do have Attack of the Killer Refrigerator 2.com.
Okay,
and a couple others. But that'll be coming up. We are actually in the final touches of it. We just right now have put together our business package in a keynote, in a keynote package. We're in the process. We have this incredible refrigerator. I can't begin to tell you how cool it is. We found this great guy who's doing some mechanical effects with us, and we're going to be shooting this trailer on the 10th of October, which is coming up, and that'll be another piece of our business plan. And I've been working on an Indiegogo page, but I don't have a lot of. I've never done it. So I'm not sure of that route. I don't know if you guys ever have.
Yeah, I mean, I think Indiegogo, Kickstarter, that kind of crowdfunding, I think 5 years ago seemed like a foreign concept, and now is, I think it's a very viable option for people. So
yeah, we'd love to help promote that.
Yeah, like whatever.
We're also offering NFTs. We have one up there now. You can go to our website, mediahousefilms.com, and purchase some of the crazy art that we have. But the art is also coming with like a set day. And if you're an executive producer, if you buy this NFT, and you'll get, a single headline credit and set rights and everything that comes along with an executive producer role. If you want to get your kid killed, here's another NFT you can buy. Okay, so
how do you get
cat?
How do you get how do you get 3 podcasters killed?
Yeah.
You guys are a little bit out of our target range. But if you have a high school age
that's the one
child
thing.
that wants to be in a movie,
We'll be the creepy older people at the party.
Yeah. Hey, why are those old people at this party?
Whoa, we're like 30. We're
No, it just cuts to me. I'm like, oh man, Mrs. Davis's homeroom class really sucked this morning, huh?
beanbag and a hat.
Because
graduated.
Because I'm in high school.
Well, we have a high school scene in there, so
That's funny. That's funny. I like that. That's great stuff.
We're trying to think of all these unique ways to just raise funding. In addition to, we have some contacts in the industry as well, some distribution contacts and things like that to help us along in that regard to get more money. A movie like this it could be $20 million. Okay, it could be a lot of money,
right?
But it can't be that much because it will never make its money back.
Sure, sure.
So we are looking. We're looking in the hopefully the 3 million range, maybe.
Yeah,
which
to
is
get
not
it done.
really a lot of money in the grand scheme of things.
Right.
When you look at other movies that are made, I mean, an episode of the morning show is $20 million. Who knows what? I've seen some pretty poor Amazon Prime movies that were probably $120,000, but I think we could do a really good job with that amount of money and offer a huge bang for the buck.
Yeah. Well, I think the big thing is
the way we do it.
Tapping into the community that wants this. And and again, this might be a conversation for off air, but for people like us, what gets me excited is going to be stuff like limited edition, merch, posters,
the rarity of it
VHS,
all.
like all that stuff. Right. And also just I think, some of these, like even some of the Friday the 13th, like fan films have raised a lot of money because people just want to be involved and want to be part of, when guys like you are enthusiastic, that if people are in a position to be able to help and they like, the genre that you're going for, I think that there's definitely an audience out there that's going to want to contribute.
Mm-hmm.
If you were to tell me that, so many years later, this movie, Attack of the Killer Refrigerator, would still be around and getting reviewed, that's the part that kills me. I'm getting reviewed like it was made today, and it is I am so much better.
They're like, what was it like shooting the movie with COVID protocol? You're like, you didn't realize this did this in 1985, right?
Right. But it's so funny. It is so funny that's the case, Hey, and by the time it's all said and done, since that costs $25 to make, literally. When we say that, people think we're joking. We literally spent $25 out of pocket to make Attack of the Killer Refrigerator 2 after this next distribution run. Don't be surprised if it comes up being the highest grossing movie of all time.
Based on
and I'm
budget,
still counting on that per capita.
Hey, how awesome would a poster be? For the original, put get an artist to do a limited run poster, and the tagline says the highest grossing movie of all time. That's awesome.
Yes.
We're already saying we think it might be. I don't know. You guys might know this. We were going to look into Guinness Book of World Record for the highest grossing VHS resale. I mean,
all you got to do is put the work in. You'll get the record.
Yeah,
we know from experience. Because the thing with Guinness is, there was this guy who said he had the world's largest Ghostbusters collection, and he kind of doesn't.
But
at
he's
all.
the only person.
But he's the only one who
He
did
did the work.
He put the work in. He has a good collection. We're all huge Ghostbusters fans, if you didn't know.
Okay. So there's work to be involved.
Well, not that much. I think
But it's not for something like Guinness. I think you fill out an application or something, and you tell them what your
what you're going for
record is, and they'll research and let you know if that record already exists, and if it doesn't, then it doesn't matter if that's not even the highest, because if the record isn't already registered with them, you're setting the record.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. You're setting the bar.
Yeah,
Yep,
Rarest.org. Rarest.org named it the 10th rarest VHS tape ever produced.
Oh my God.
Was
I'm
it as
so
of
mad.
March.
I like that.
Yeah.
Is cool.
As of March of this year.
That's cool.
That's the tagline.
That just came out.
I'll tell you what's not the rarest.
VHS.
Speed and Twister. That's the least. Those are the two least rare VHSs.
Yeah.
I think they just gave those out in the mail.
That's because you could have seen them in every bin. That
Yeah, exactly.
For the last 10 holiday seasons.
Oh, if you go to any Goodwill in the country, there's like a Speed and Twister.
They're picked
section.
over.
Just a section.
Yeah. Goodwills and thrift stores have been picked over, and they're being resold on eBay for like $10 and $15, $20.
Well, hey, you want to hear a crazy one? A gentleman called Mark. He found a DVD, and on this DVD had all kinds of writing, all kinds of scribble. It was a DVD that we were proofing that somehow got misplaced. He found it at a flea market. He bought it for $1.
Wow.
My ex-wife sold it to him without knowing what the hell she was talking about.
Wow.
No, that's a true story. My
really?
ex-wife
It happens.
Hold on to that
sold it.
one. That's
Damn.
People don't know what they have.
Yeah, they don't.
People
Oh,
always.
she knew what she had. It was just another piece of junk to give away.
Oh, okay, I see. She knew.
And I'll tell you what flea market it was too. Rieta Ranch, right up there by Gardner.
I like that. The guy offered her. The guy offered her $100. She goes, "No, I will not take more than $1 for this."
Well,
I'm
who
going to
knows
show
what?
my
She's
Yeah.
British, so anything could have possibly have happened. I have no idea. You thought she was probably getting 100 pounds. I don't know what the hell.
We have some cool stuff up on eBay that we've had. We're trying to raise some funds just for some little items. So, like on eBay, we have like a signed box cover layout. So this is something that we use to make a box cover. So this was, just about the time of the laser writer. I mean, not the laser writer, the style writer from Apple. Mm-hmm. So we would print things out, cut them, lay them out like a printer would, and make VHS boxes using a photocopier, and then either color enhancing them or leaving them blank like we did. But we have up on eBay the original layout from the second release box that we have. We have an original Donna Michelle one sheet that's two-sided, perfect condition that I found in a box at my mom's.
Rarer than the VHS.
Yeah, and then we're putting up a bunch of stuff that we have that we've just had over the years to try to even just get a little interest going for the movie, and also give spread the fun around to the collectors.
Sure,
we have some pretty cool stuff going up on eBay.
Cool.
I'm gonna add we have a very limited DVD release that Mark and I did. It's actually 50 copy release. I think we have maybe 10 left. And we're gonna put that in, and we've been signing them to everybody that wanted to buy one. We've taken that site down a little while ago, but we're gonna be putting that on eBay. So we have some fun stuff coming up, and the NFTs are great. And I don't know if you're into cryptocurrencies at all, but I think that's a new up and coming thing.
Yeah,
too.
I mean, I think that I'm not. I don't know enough about it to talk about it, but I'm familiar with it. Mm-hmm. I know that people are into it, and. Yeah, I think stuff like that. That's cool. By the way, if anybody wants to check out, I guess if they just search "Attack of the Killer Refrigerator" on eBay, that stuff's going to pop up. Cool.
There's a book coming out. There'll be a book coming out. I'm going to say coffee table book. I don't know if it's actually a coffee table book, but it is done by an author in Montreal. His name is Frank Apache, and he's doing a retrospective look at the VHS covers from the 80s and 90s.
Oh, cool.
And,
I'm
so
getting
we've
that.
been talking with Frank, and he's of course Attack of the Killer Refrigerator. He's all about it. So he goes, that's the one. And so we recently sent him some stuff, and he's thrilled. And so it'll be in a book too. So again, this is unsolicited stuff. It's coming in droves now,
Right.
which is, and Michael and I, we're used to being busy, in our roles. But it really is coming in droves right now, and just trying to get the stuff done and get the word out. It takes a lot of work on that end in the filmmaking business. Plus, we're an LLC, so we have the business end to run. Thankfully, Michael's wife, Lizzie, is helping us out with that, because we just want to make the movies. But
Right.
you do have to swim in that business side
Right.
of the filmmaking business. And it's just you want to be in it. That's just part of the rules. So,
Right. Well, we'll do
that's
whatever
what we're
we can on our end to, as you guys get going, we will update our listeners and our audience. And I think there's going to be a lot of interest.
Yeah.
We'll do everything we can to help see it through, and I want to see this happen and get made. And I'm excited for you guys, because I want to make mini refrigerator toys and send them to you is what I want to do.
And we
We're
urge
in.
you
No,
to make mini refrigerator toys.
You have,
Send
like,
them to us. Well, hey,
printers or something?
here's an incentive. Attack of the Killer Refrigerator 2 is at the top of our list, but don't forget now, if we make that, then more than likely we're going to follow it right up with Snapper, as things are looking right now.
Now let me ask this.
That would be
Please do.
Is there any scenes? Do you want to kill any podcasters in Snapper? Oh, I'm just kidding.
You
We'll
would-
set
well, we
ourselves
could
on
actually.
fire.
See, now we don't have an age group in that one.
Right, so you could be killed.
Thank God. That's all I wanted.
I'll buy a plane ticket
Yeah.
if you're going to kill me with the giant turtle.
We'll get you on
Absolutely.
the. We'll get you. There's a huge killing spree with
Well,
this turtle in the
It's
script.
funny you said Snapper.
Yes.
I went to a colleague's house yesterday, and I knew he lived on a lake, but I never realized how perfect it was for our script. I walked around to the back of his house. I go, "Who owns that house right next to it?" He goes, "Oh, that's my neighbor. They don't come up very much, but I know him." He goes, I said, "You want to shoot the turtle movie here?" I go, "Yeah." He goes, "You're in." I'm like,
I love that.
Nice.
so I got the location there, and we were
Yeah.
going to shoot it at another lake, but it required a lot of rehab. It's another friend's house. And
Okay. Got it.
we literally had to build a facade on one side to shoot the movie.
Well, we just to answer your question about the toys, we started working with a guy. We a lot of our listeners are toy collectors. It's kind of a big part of our community, and we started doing kind of digitally created and 3D and resin cast like mini figures, and very limited to run. They've done really well so far, and kind of the sky's the limit with that kind of stuff. So if that's something you guys wanted to do, is kind of like something just fun to do.
Yeah.
I'm sure we can.
And we
do
promote
that.
them
love to.
on our
Heck
live
yeah.
streams on YouTube.
Yeah.
I want a little refrigerator to go with my Snapper turtle that I was able to get from John.
Yeah.
Oh, did you get one?
Yeah, for sure.
All right.
That was also part of the
I don't
three.
Look up
even
Scott
have one.
Andrews.
When Jake called me at 3 a.m, that was part of it. He goes,
And it
he told me the whole story. And then he goes, and I have it. I'm holding it. That's funny.
Mark, do you have a Snapper turtle?
I know. We talked to John about that.
We don't
but,
have
we have
one,
to
no.
get in touch with Scott
What,
Andrews.
John? I'll text John right now. John, I know you just had a child today, but why do these gentlemen not have turtles?
Important.
I'm glad you brought that up. I wasn't going to, but he just had a little baby, and this morning, or I know it's going to be delayed. So a couple of days back, I guess, by the time this airs, but he just sent me the photographs of him, and Michael and I could not be more thrilled for him and his wife, and it just couldn't have happened to nicer people.
yeah.
Yep, for sure.
Absolutely.
Good luck. That's all I can say. Just,
Good luck.
filmmaking, gone.
That's
Yeah.
funny. Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
You thought it was hard to get it out earlier.
Say goodbye to the toy collection.
Well, my wife's a labor and delivery nurse, so I hear all about it.
Okay.
Word.
All right. Very
That's
cool.
what happened to us. I mean, think about it. We had kids, families. Things get in the way.
Yeah.
That's, we keep writing. That's the problem. It's easy to write. Write costs nothing.
Right.
And that's why we have so many screenplays. that are just sitting there that we love because we're thinking about the next one already. And I'm like, no, we got to stay on the fridge. But we're talking about another thing, We're like, oh. And now
and a couple of TV pilots.
Oh, nice.
Final draft. I don't know if you guys do any writing, but Final Draft with the collaboration feature is unbelievable. That with FaceTime.
It's
no
just
excuse.
amazing.
It's way different than it used to be.
Well, we know that, right?
We used to meet at a hotel lobby.
Yeah.
Right.
Understandably so. Yeah.
Well, listen,
So
guys.
you got to do it. There's no reason not to.
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you. We appreciate that. And I do enjoy it.
Go write something.
I did. I wrote a short story. We did a radio drama for our patrons.
We did.
It's a Halloween story.
We're always working on
Love
something.
radio dramas.
We're always
It's
working on
called The
something.
Last Blockbuster on Earth.
It is. And it kind of ties in.
Yeah.
The last point I was going to make before we kind of head out here is like, and Jake, you said this earlier, the VHS market is exploding. You used to be able to go to thrift stores and find VCRs and TV VCR combos.
Oh, I spent $100 on a VCR TV unit recently because mine was broken. So yeah, the market's like going up.
There it is right there. Look at that bad
There
boy.
it is. Look at that
Nice.
guy. Well, show us under the hood of that thing.
What else is it?
It's like
I like
There
that
you
one.
go.
That thing's
Oh,
cool.
yeah.
That's
I don't know
cool.
what's in it. Let me see.
Nice.
Yeah.
Oh, I got something.
I got something.
I hope it's something embarrassing.
Yeah.
I've been digitizing VHS footage for the release because we put on also on the Blu-ray is some incredible behind the scenes stuff and things that I just found, and it's a lot of fun to go back and look at old tapes. I don't know if you guys do that much, but
Yeah.
I mean, that's
Love
the
it.
best.
Yes.
That's glad that you guys documented that stuff because a lot of times people don't. We're bad about it now.
We couldn't do it, Errol.
Right.
Like Michael said with the refrigerator, nothing. The hook, we had some separate camcorder, half-inch VHS recorders that we were able to get some stuff on and some photographs and then some stuff with Snapper. But, that's why if we even touch the refrigerator right now, like the one that we have, I photograph the hell out of it, and make movies and everything else. So, but it's fun. And we appreciate you guys having us on. We truly do.
For sure.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, we'll be buying those photographs on
When you start
eBay.
shooting, you gotta do it. Like, where are you from? Where are you out of?
Atlanta.
We're all in Georgia. We're all in Georgia, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, hell, I'm an Augusta,
have you on
Georgia
the
boy.
set.
I was
Oh, there
born
you
in
go.
Augusta.
Hell yeah.
Okay.
Augusta.
Nice.
Augusta.
I was born on Fort Gordon.
What
Right.
I mean,
Know the
like,
area,
I
yeah.
want it, like, whenever you guys, once it gets there, if you guys do festivals, we'll come out, we'll come hang. Like, I want to see.
sure.
Oh, absolutely.
We'll cut a ribbon.
I feel, we'll just bring ribbons to cut for no reason.
Yeah.
We'll just do it.
We'll just do it. No. This is great, and I want to whatever we can do to help you guys. We will. We'll promote. We'll post. And Media House Films is the website. Is it MediaHouseFilms.com? Is that the
Yes.
website? Okay.
Or
Everybody can
attackofthekillerrefrigerator.com.
attackofthekillerrefrigerator.com. Keep your eyes out for those VHSs because top 10 rarest VHSs of all time. That's an honor.
That's tight.
That's
Yeah,
what
you
I'm
check
putting
it
on my
out.
gravestone.
Rarest.org. Check it out.
Rarest.org.
It's there.
Mike, Mark, this was great. We will connect down
Thank
the
you,
road
guys.
a little bit, and
We will.
And we'll just keep doing it. I love it. I love seeing entrepreneurial spirit, being able to
Doing your own thing.
write movies, make movies, and do it in your own way. Like, what's better than that? It's inspirational. So we thank you guys for joining us.
We thank you.
Thank you for having us.
very much.
All right.
Thank you.
Bye.